Hello and welcome to the Oakland A's UK YouTube channel. I am Matt Smith and this is the debut of a brand new feature here called Late Night Early Morning. Now the original idea for this was going to be a live stream on our Twitter account and on YouTube too. So the idea is when the A's are playing a day game, that's normally say 9 o'clock start here in the UK, so I could do a live stream right after that day game, late night for us. And then if it was a night game in Oakland, that normally starts at 3 o'clock in the morning UK time, so I could do a live stream early in the morning at say 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning to review what had just happened. All of this involves me being a lot more organised and a lot more awake than I currently have been over the past couple of weeks. So I haven't got to do one just yet in this 2020 season, but really enjoyed last night's game so much that I thought I'd do some sort of a video about it, and this seemed like a good idea to record it as a video and just stick it on a YouTube channel, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe doing it as a video is easier than doing it as a live stream, but we'll give it a different try of both options and see what works best. As I say, we're really excited right now because, well, the A's are absolutely rolling. They beat the Astros 3-1 last night. That's an 11 wins, 4 losses record for the A's. 8 wins in a row. We're going for not only a series sweep against the Astros today on Sunday, but a 9th win in a row. And praise the Lord, we have the Messiah, Jesus Lozado, on the mound for the A's. So that game starts at 9 UK time, so 1 in Oakland. Great time to watch on a Sunday. Cannot wait for that game and to see the A's try to make it 9 on a spin. Before we do that though, we'll look back at Game 2, the game that happened on Saturday. And what I do after a game is I look at various websites, looking at the stats, looking at all the details. And a great place to do that is on the MLB.com site, Baseball Savant. That takes all of the fancy StatCast data and gives it to you, spits it out in really interesting ways, but you can dive in and see what information you want to have a look at. So that's what I'm going to do here. We're going to have a look at some of the key points that I've picked out from Game 2, the 3-1 win over the Astros. So here is the Baseball Savant page for yesterday's game against the Astros, 3-1 victory for the A's. As you can see on the page, 3-1 and 9 hits for the A's, 5 for the Astros. And there are various stats we can look at, a whole plethora of stats. Game win probability, always an interesting one to look at. This shows you the peaks and troughs of who was likely to win at any point in the game. And as you can see yesterday, it was all A's. Marcus Semien hitting a home run in the bottom of the first, and the A's didn't give up the lead at any point from then on. So generally nicely in control for the A's most of the way through. We'll start by having a look at the 2 home runs hit by the A's yesterday. First off, Marcus Semien in the bottom of the first inning, and as you can see there's a pretty clear pitch here in terms of sinkers all around, sinker to get to there, and then on the 3-2 pitch gets a curveball out of nowhere, and it's boom time for Marcus Semien, smacking it into the seats for a home run. So there we go, sinkers all over, and then drops a curve in, and Marcus makes him pay. Next up, Matt Chapman in the 8th inning, facing Nivaldo Rodriguez here, and Rodriguez is going with fastballs, throws a high fastball first off for a ball, and then the next one is right down Broadway, right down the middle of the plate. It's 93 miles an hour, but 104 miles per hour on the exit velocity for Chappie, smacking it into the seats for a home run. So the other thing we have is that the box scores include a few other different bits of information than you'd normally see, and the main one is in that right hand column, as you can see, hard hit balls. And it's particularly important sometimes, especially if you haven't been able to watch the whole game, which can happen for us in the UK with the time difference. We can look at the box score and see an over 3 and over 4, and that doesn't always tell you the whole story. And we can look at that today in terms of how Sean Murphy played in the game against the Astros on Saturday. As you can see, he went over 3, so not so good, and you know, you'll say, well, that's a bit of a lost cause. But then you look over here and see two flames. So he hit two of the balls hard. And we can take a closer look at what happened in those at-bats by looking at the at-bat selector at the bottom of the baseball savant page. In his first at-bat then, so first pitch was a curveball inside, and we see that a lot. We're starting to see that with Murphy, I think. The book on him from other teams at the moment is to try and pitch him inside. So we got a curveball to start right there. Then he got a sinker, which was fouled off. And the third pitch was another sinker, and he whacks this. 105 miles per hour, he hits it. Unfortunately, goes to Jose Altuve, who throws him out for a ground out. The next time Murphy comes to play is a slightly different story, with Valdez going full on sinker. Couple down low to start, one there and one there, both of them rightly called balls by the umpire. And then he gets a pitch to hit a 2-0 sinker. Let's have a look at the velocity. 92 miles an hour, so let's call it 93 miles an hour. 2-0 pitch, and he whacks it. Unfortunately for Murphy though, it goes to the centre fielder, so it was allowed out, but look at the exit velocity on that, 108.5 miles an hour. So this is not someone who's having a bad at-bat, someone who's being overmatched, someone who's flailing away at bad pitches. So good at-bat, he gets a pitch to hit, and he hits it, just unfortunately it goes to a fielder. Murphy's final at-bat didn't go quite so well, but we do have to point a finger at the umpire here, and as my A's UK friends will tell you, I did point this out right at the time on our WhatsApp group chat. Look at this, pitch number 1, it is a curveball, clearly not in the strike zone. Not a strike, umpire, not a strike, but he called it a strike, and that immediately put Murphy on the back foot. Runners on second and third, really good opportunity for the A's, but that pitch puts him in an 0-1 hole. Valdez comes back, that's a really good pitch there with a full-seam fastball right on the inside corner, again pitching him inside, really good pitch there to go 0-2. But then he goes back to the curveball, and Murphy has to swing at this pitch, unfortunately, because of the umpire calling that a strike, and he's now 0-2, he has to swing at that pitch. Very difficult pitch to get anything on at all, never mind try and hit it, and he flailed away for strike 3. So, disappointing at-bat for Murphy there, but you do have to point the finger at the umpire to an extent too. And we can roll that on to the next at-bat as well. Again, runners on second and third, Marcus Semien up. So, starts with a full-seam fastball for a ball, sinker in there for a foul ball for a strike. But then look at this, 1-1 pitch. So full-seam fastball, clearly inside. So that inside part again calls that a strike. Rubbish. Not a strike, umpire, not a strike. So that then puts Semien in a 1-2 hole, throws the curveball, and Semi swings right for it. So again, a bit annoying that the umpire was calling some pitches on the inside, calling them as strikes when they weren't. And it did put the A's batters in a bit of a hole right at the end of the game in that 8th inning. So there we go, those were the key points from Game 2 against the Astros last night, but we're back at it today, looking for 9 wins in a row. It's a 10-9 start here in the UK, so 10-1 in Oakland. Jesus Luzardo on the man for the A's. Going to be an absolute cracker. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to all of our social media accounts at Oakland A UK, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe and get notified here on YouTube when our next video goes live.